This video is going to be a film study look at the Lions' late second quarter possession that really allowed them to regain control in their Monday Night Football win over the Raiders. I thought there was two situations in the game, at least two, where the Raiders had an opportunity to get back in the game. The first one was their late second quarter drive, really highlighted by Josh Jacobs' running game, punctuated by a 3-yard touchdown run that I'll show you here in a moment. And then Jared Goff and the Lions offense just goes right downfield and answers. Very calm, almost very composed manner that Goff operated in. They didn't seem to be in a rush. Capped with the 18-yard touchdown pass to Sam Laporta. What I like about the drive, among many things, is that the guys who contributed the most, it wasn't Amon-Ra St. Brown. St. Brown has one catch on this drive, and I feel like he's the engine that drives the whole daggone offense. But there's times where you see the Lions being effective, relying on Jahmyr Gibbs, clearly, who had 187 total yards in Monday night's win. Jameson Williams is going to have a 22-yard catch on this drive. Laporta has a third down conversion and then the touchdown pass. The balance that was there in the offense in terms of responsibility or opportunity, if you will, I thought really made it difficult for the Raiders to match up with all the weapons out there on the field as the game progressed and moved along. We're going to start with Josh Jacobs' touchdown run that pulls the Raiders within 9-7. Really brutal drive. I didn't like this 5-1 look by the Lions, where they got 5 DBs on the field, 3 interior linemen, 2 edge defenders, and then 1 inside backer. I'm never a big fan of these looks. I feel like it just isolates the inside linebacker too much. You kind of can't be right. Right guard, right tackle, we're going to combo. I think it's McNeil, and then someone works up. I think it's the right guard, works up to Anzalone, and there's no tandem to help him. There's no other inside linebacker to support. I'm just not a fan of those 5-1 looks, particularly in short yardage situations. But we're here to talk about the offense, so here we go. 79-yard drive begins on the negative 21-yard line. You got 12 personnel first, 0-yard gain for Gibbs. This is the one where after the play you could clearly hear Max Crosby saying some things on mic that broadcast television doesn't want you to say. So great play by him. Don't get me wrong. I did think there was a couple of moments where the tight ends for the Lions did a nice job against him, and this is not one of them. I think this is Laporta trying to deal with Crosby, and he just sheds him too easy. Marcus Peters also there to fill, creates a 2nd and 10, and this is where you kind of get rolling. Jameson Williams is lined up as the outside receiver down here to the bottom. Goff motions Gibbs out. So there's no corresponding inside linebacker going out there with him. It's confirmed for him he's getting zone. That's the design of this play. And Williams is going to get the 22-yard gain over the top of the second level of the defense. I like the planning here. I like the usage of Williams, bringing it back in, and he is one shoestring tackle or maybe ankle tackle away from taking this to the house. I know Lions fans are waiting for that moment to occur, and it almost did here. I almost think Josh Reynolds might have been the guy who prevented him from cutting underneath of that backside safety, but it's a great throw by Goff. I'm just never a fan of these inside linebackers who are staring at the quarterback the whole time and don't match the routes at all, and Goff throws it over the top of him. There is a lot of space there and empty for him to defend, so I'm being a little picky, but I prefer inside linebackers to wall out 2 and get eyes on 2 and ride that route into their zone area. In this case, this guy's really heavy on the quarterback, Goff, who just throws it over top of him in the window. You'll get a great example of what I mean here. This is the inside linebacker I'm talking about. Nice design by Ben Johnson. Great pass pro on this one. Initially, give Goff time, throw it over the linebacker level in front of the safeties. 22-yard catch for Jameson Williams, who at that point had already had a drop and then got stung for that tackle for loss by Crosby. So really cool play. And then this one, again, is a designed play to Gibbs. I talked about this in a video I put out late Tuesday night on Jahmyr Gibbs. Check that out. I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. It's a film study video. Look at Jahmyr Gibbs' contribution in Monday Night Football. So this is a screen to the boundary, but it's designed to come back exactly where Gibbs brings it. He's pressing the sideline immediately. He's trying to get this guy to widen up. Why? So that as the screen happens, these offensive linemen have a better angle to go get him and wall him off in this direction. I know I've got a lot of arrows, but trying to push him to the top of our screen, the right side of the defense, the left side of the offense. You can see he's matched Gibbs' width because I believe this is man-free, You got man down here, Peters. Man, I think that's Hobbs. Man up here at the top side, and man by 21. Inside linebacker is man on Gibbs. So I think Ben Johnson probably knew he was going to get man free here. Just so you know the way a lot of these guys have their play call sheet structured, they know what coverages they're going to get in certain parts of the field. We're talking about the negative 43-yard line here. So he's probably got some type of percent. Hey, it's 78% man free when we go 11 personnel with less than 2 minutes left. That's the way that it would look in terms of the front end data, and then you build your plays off of that. My guess is that day he had a pretty good idea he was going to get man free, and that's why he called that screen. 2-play sequence here that I think is really revealing about Ben Johnson, that he's hard-headed, and I mean in a good way. This is trap. So they're trapping this D tackle. Again, I covered this in the Jahmyr Gibbs video last night, so I won't go over it too much, but it's a trap concept. The Lions run it a lot. You got 2 penalties getting ready to be called here. 1, a hold on the offensive lineman, and then 2, the horse collar on Spillane, who I thought played a pretty damn good game. Penalties offset creates a new down at the same exact spot on the next play. This is not the next play. This is the same trap concept from end zone angle, so you can see the left guard pulling. D-tackle's basically run himself out of the play. Huge gain, 14 yards. Unfortunately for Lions fans, gets called back. And this is what I really like about this. Actually, 3 flags thrown. What I really like about this is the very next play from the same spot on the field with 1:45 left in the quarter, or in the half, excuse me. Ben Johnson runs downhill with Gibbs again. I really like that. You got a 13-yard gain, called back because of penalties that negated each other, and then he says, we're going to come right back at you because we don't think you can stop it consistently. And I thought the run game early was a series of 3, 4, 6-yard gains for Gibbs, turned into these chunk yards later. This one is a great job, if you ask me, of the left tackle, left guard. Comboing this D tackle, they get a pancake here, and then the left tackle works up to the linebacker level. Also think that Laporta is doing a really nice job. He's so savvy, and he's so aware. He's dealing with the edge defender up to the top side. He's just kind of basing him out at first. Somehow he also sees this safety Phil. So what Laporta does is after he bases this guy out, works up to the safety level because he thinks, I've already expanded him wide enough that he's not going to be able to stop this play off of the combo double team by the left guard and the left tackle. You can see the seam that's created for Gibbs. Left tackle Decker did an amazing job. 7-yard gain, 2 consecutive run plays in a row, downhill right at you. I love the idea. I don't think you got to do it all the time, but in this case it works. 6 yards to St. Brown here. I think this is Goff's 3rd read here. I think he's coming back right to left. You know, some reads are right to left, left to right. Some reads are high to low. Some reads are low to high. Goff is clearly looking over here to this side of the field at one of these 2 receivers. Doesn't like what he sees because he's got a bracket there on Khalif Raymond. It looks like you got a vertical developing that Marcus Peters is guarding Gibbs on. Comes back to the middle of the field, and you've got St. Brown sitting down. Additionally, you've got this guy who I would presume would get in between the hashes and kind of sit. St. Brown's open, comes back to it, 6-yard gain, keeps the chains moving. Goff is working through progressions quickly. I mean, all NFL quarterbacks work through them quickly. It's just some of them are quick enough to exploit these holes in the defense. And unfortunately for some guys, even though they're still quick at it, they're just not as quick as the defense that closes those areas of the field up once your face mask turns and looks in that direction. Gibbs for 1 yard, not really much here on a 1st and 10, talking about a minute left in the half. And at this point I was like, okay, they're not in any rush at all. They're just trying to milk it here, make sure that the Raiders don't get the ball back. Laporta complete on a 2nd and 9 out into the right flats. Marcus Peters is there for the tackle, or at least to push him out of bounds. I wasn't a huge fan of this call. I wasn't, but you got to take what the defense gives you. Goff is getting rid of the ball quick. You do have a receiver, breaking open here late, but Goff has already decided to throw the football over there to the right-hand side, quicker in the progression. He thinks he could get more yards than he got. Laporta's only able to get 3, creates this 3rd and 6, and I thought this was a brilliant job by Goff. Gets it to Laporta for 8 yards. It's a quad set. They've run this a lot, not necessarily the quads part, but you're going to get St. Brown sit down, Laporta coming across, and then he's going to see a defender in his path. So he sits this down right here as well. And then I think Reynolds is bringing this into the. It's almost kind of works out like mesh. It's just a triangular spacing read in the middle of the field once these guys have distributed the routes. Not really a great look at the triangle here because Reynolds isn't there yet. He's also being covered well by the safety. But St. Brown, Laporta, and then Reynolds is the three options here for Goff. He gets it to Laporta correctly, working through the reads so fast. Really nice to see him come back and perform well and efficiently after last week against the Ravens, where even though there was 2 drives where I thought Goff looked really sharp, there was also those first 4 drives where the Lions offense got nothing done. Converts this third down, left to right read, if you ask me, for 8 yards, and sets up this touchdown to Laporta. In between the linebacker level, got a 1st and 10 with about 30 seconds left. They motion Raymond across, and they run this wheel. Definitely some miscommunication, I think, on the Raiders' part. It's a single receiver side, first of all, to the boundary, and you got Peters up here on Laporta. Raymond is going to motion across and then take the wheel. So you got to match it in some manner, and the Raiders do not. Both guys, Peters and one, are dealing with Raymond in terms of their leverage inside, and then Laporta's just breaking through between these 2 second-level defenders. Goff, again, quick decision, sticks that thing in there. I'll give you the end zone angle so you can see it. I think it's a beautiful moment and a beautiful illustration of the confidence that Ben Johnson has in Jared Goff. Let me put it to you this way. They had settled for field goals 3 times in the half. It's 9-7 at this point, I believe. The pace of the play calls here in the last minute and 30 was, I don't want to say slow, but it wasn't a hurry up. Let's do it that way. He trusts Goff. I think that Ben Johnson trusts Goff precisely on these third down situations, even though this isn't third down, the play before it was, to make the right decision and give them a high percentage chance to get a score. The fact that it's Jamison Williams, Gibbs, and Laporta making the plays on this drive should excite Lions fans. I'm sure that it does. I don't know. I have no idea what other, Lions content creators focus on. I just don't. It's not anything intentional. I just don't have time to check out people's stuff. I don't even have time to check out Ravens content creator stuff like Edgar Allen and Sip Tally, 2 guys that I really respect and looked up to in terms of content creation about the Ravens. I don't even have time to watch their videos, to be honest with you, because I'm trying to do so much. I would hope that other Lions content creators are excited and talking about the youth that is there on this offense. The offensive line dealt with some injuries, has been dealing with injuries all year, and I think has done a pretty good job of dealing with those situations, particularly in light of the preseason game where so many offensive linemen, second-string offensive linemen started, and I thought they looked really poor. They've been able to plug guys in and get things done. Played without the center, Ragnow, on Monday Night Football. I thought, by and large, the offensive line did a great job, particularly in the run game, 220 yards passing. This possession here I thought was a almost immaculate job by Goff of answering the moment where the Raiders had gone down to score against the defense in a manner that was surprising, running the football, being physical, out-physicaling the Lions defense, which hasn't happened a lot this year. And Goff comes down and answers, utilizing Gibbs. The play to Jamison Williams I thought was huge and showed how dangerous he can be. Let me know what you guys think of this possession breakdown. Looking at, I got it listed as second possession up there. It should say second quarter. It's a typo. But anyway, appreciate you guys' time. If you think other Lions fans would enjoy this look at the Lions' answer late in the half to go up 16-7, then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.